Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. I got a series I'm going to probably be doing over on my Patreon channel, and it's going to have to do with understanding and comprehending Matthew 18, the proper order, proper perspective, the proper way that you can really truly judge matters and see things. I said it once, said it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it again. Everything that goes on in this world, especially if there's an offense, is literally not a trespass. And the Matthew 18 is not the be-all, end-all of all judgment. That's why the king came in the volume of the book. Now you've got these false brothers and false preachers and false prophets and perceived prophets or whatever the hell they think they are. They think they got a monopoly on y'all's word. And I'm gonna give y'all an example of what goes on. Just a little taste, all right? And I've watched this play over and over and over and over again, especially to people who have unsuspecting minds, okay? So you got a brother that will go talk to another brother about a pastor, elder, or leader. And they're having this conversation because it was initiated and started by the ones who have an offense. They don't never come as if they have an offense. They come with vanity. They come with great swelling words of vanity. They come with a forked tongue while they have malice and ill will and offense and pride in their heart. But they don't disclose it to you. So they come to you, they speak to you about your pastor, your elder, or even another brother. You go away bewildered, baffled, and confused about the conversation. While you were in there, you didn't keep up the sobriety of the mind that the book says. So you just got finished hearing your neighbor get slandered. You just got finished hearing someone being falsely accused. But yet it was cloaked in maliciousness. It was cloaked in a so-called quote-unquote conversation. All right? And again, you're sitting there thinking that you're dealing with a brother that you were once a good brother with a few years ago. So when they come and speak with you, your guard is down. You're not as sober as you should be. You should be that way with everybody concerning conversation, especially when somebody has a conversation and they bring up someone else. You should always be leery of that. All right? So what happens is, you just got finished hearing your pastor slandered, or an elder slandered, or brother slandered. And then you go and you tell that pastor, you tell that elder, you tell that brother who just got finished being slandered, you tell them exactly what went on, all right? And you actually did right. But this particular spirit only wants to be judged by Matthew 18. See, it starts, first of all, it demands righteousness, that you, what they call righteous by, look, brother, if you're offended with me or something, like, you need to come to me. No, not in this matter. Not in this matter. That's not the case. That's not according to Torah. It's not according to Scripture. That's not according to the Messiah who comes in the volume of the book. It's not according to the Messiah that is Matthew 5:17 and 18:19. Well, don't you think I come to destroy the law of the prophets? I didn't come to destroy it. I came to fulfill. But see, what they want to do is trap you. And they want to say that you had the problem and you had the offense because you didn't come to them, so therefore you breached what the word said when they already were in transgression. They were already in sin when they started slandering. Now, give me an example. Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. And here's the answer whenever you hear someone is privately slandering your neighbor. It says, and if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing. That's what it says. And is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it. If he do not utter it, he shall bear his iniquity. In other words, if you hear a matter, when you have seen it or heard it, and you don't go run and tell it, then you're going to bear the lawlessness, the iniquity, the sin upon your own self. So the scriptures teach us when someone is privately slandering their neighbor, and y'all got to understand something. There's two things that will literally get people cut off from fellowship. One of them is presumption. The other one is slandering his neighbor. You can clearly see them all. Deuteronomy 17 and Psalms 101 verse 5. Now again, for clarity, so you got a brother that came to you slandering your pastor, or slandering an elder, or slandering a brother to you privately. And they're going around spitting this stuff, salting it all over the place, waiting to see who's going to actually get it back to us, and then so they can try to justify themselves within themselves. Well, brother, if I offend you, you're supposed to be coming to me. No. The sin is if the brother don't come and tell the person who did the slandering and who did the talking about them. That is what the sin is. You see, and that's the problem. So these people want to try to use a Matthew 18. If you don't watch them carefully, they're going to throw away the whole Bible and say you only stick with Jesus' words when Jesus is the one who wrote the Torah. Jesus is the one who gave it to Moses, the law. And of course, the prophet says in Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the prophet. If they don't speak according to this word, it's because there's no light in them at all. What's an example of Matthew 18, Pastor Dowell? I'm glad you asked. So let's suppose that I stole something from my brother. All right, you're still in transgression of the law, right? You just sinned against your brother because that's his property. And then he discovered and he found out, brother, you're supposed to go to him. Brother, you stole it from me. Well, no, I didn't, but you made diligent inquiry, found out he was the one who did it. He denied, until you caught him red-handed. All right? Then you went to him. All right, you told him. And the proof is there, he can't run. Now you're trying to gain your brother. He keeps on denying it. You bring two more witnesses. All right? To witness the matter, not that you go and tell them what went on. They have to be able to hear the matter coming from both of you at the same time. That's a trespass. That's sinning. That's how you handle that. But when you got all this mouth, this arrogant mouths from these false brothers and these false teachers and these false prophets, and these people who were at one time man worshipers, and they mad at their own damn self because they were worshiping a man when the law told you that you don't have no other gods before you don't have no gods before his face. But you defied that and you did it, and now you mad and upset that you the one who worshiped the man. It's crazy. This is some schizophrenic, nonsensical stuff that's going on here. I mean, it is demonically charged and inspired. So let's cap this real quick. If you hear someone slandering your neighbor, slandering your pastor, slandering an elder, slandering a brother, slandering a sister, as soon as you hear that matter, go run and tell it to the person that was slandered. Because if you don't, you're going to bear your own iniquity upon them, on your own self. But the book requires these people need to be cut off because they ain't going to repent. The reason why they're there spitting in your ear is because they are offended, they're proud, they're arrogant, they're full of self-will, they despise authority, and they despise dominions. I'm telling you, the dishonor and disrespect is literally off the chain today. And they want to try to box you in that you don't ever speak about any of these matters and keep it within you while you still got all this poison inserted inside of you. Because if something like this gets to me, they know I'm going to put it out in front of the whole court of public opinion. Because the one thing that people are very prideful about is their reputation and their name. But if your reputation is damaged behind the scene, and I get wind of it, and you're trying to damage somebody else's reputation behind the scene, then I'm going to make sure that everybody know what type of person you really truly are, especially if you mention my name. Now that's book. That's solid. That's why I keep telling these people. Man, a lot of these folks think they know the Bible and stuff, and I'm sure they do. But man, I've been living this. I know this book and this Bible better than a lot of people. And I'm sure that there are people out there that know it better than I do, but I'm not the one that's slandering, not the one that's defaming, not the one that's fault finding, not the one that's putting forth the finger, not the one that's full of pride and arrogancy and said, well, no, we're going to go into this stuff. We're going to teach Israel so that you can see the devil when the devil is coming, when they come with good words and fair speeches. We won't let you see for who they really truly are. Then let's go ahead and do what they call debate that cause. Read the second part of that. Read the second part of that and see what it says, and then let's see if you really want to debate your cause. I hope you do. Any of you. But see, when I speak like this, it's because it's already out there in Israel. The mess, the garbage, the malice, the ill will, the stink, the stench of it is. But see, Pastor Dowell, not only do I preach it, I live it, and y'all can see my footprint on a daily basis, what your pastor be doing. I don't have time for all this little romper room stuff behind the scenes, but let the devil cut a fool with his lip and see when I expose them openly. Whatever they doing secretly, I'm going to expose them in the open so that you will have means, method, and mode to be able to preserve yourself, save yourself from his untoward generation. But you can look at the devil, and the devil is a lie, and you will know truly who the devil is and who's submitted to him. Y'all stay tuned. The king coming.